I don't do altar calls. I'm not, I have Reformed roots, so I just let the Holy Spirit do his thing. But Holy Spirit dropped a bomb, Matt. And, I remember reading Revelation about Christ's victory over Satan. And you are cast, woe to you inhabitants of the earth, for, the great accuser, Satan, has been cast down, and he's on a rage. Just all that, such a triumphant, that's like a Rocky film, right? You hear the dun, 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 dun. But Holy Spirit just filled the room, and they got saved right then. You could just tell, they came to faith at that moment. I could recognize that's what's happening. And just one of the older grown sons last week came to faith. And that's my church plan. I don't need money for that. We're going to start meeting with them and discipling them. And I've been discipling this other guy along the way. It's like skater punk kid in his 20s. And this is how I church plant. And it's not flashy. It's not, apostolics don't care. We don't want flashy. We don't want fame. We don't want name recognition. In fact, the older I get, and the same with Ralph, the less you want that stuff. Ralph is apostolic. He was an evangelist when he was younger. I'll be with him today, funny enough. But he was an evangelist when he was younger, and he actually was part of the church growth movement. And but that's because in his younger days, often an apostolic will be developed in one area. We call that their big blade on the Swiss Army knife. And then they eventually will have Paul's set apart, and they will shift. And Ralph totally shifted to an apostolic. But if you notice, Ralph, back then, he was well known, started a whole movement called Hope Chapel, which is kind of rivaled Calvary Chapel. A little lesser known, but almost just as big. And now,
Well, he's the only multiplying movement in the Western church.
Yeah, level 5 multiplier, which means it goes to the third generation. He makes disciples who make disciples who make disciples. But the way they say it now is he planted churches at planted churches at planted churches. His secret engine was discipleship. Who'd have thunk, right? Not like we were called to go out and make disciples. Who called that one? But that's all Ralph's secret has been. And he's right. It doesn't take money. If we would stop trying to replace evangelism with marketing, if we would stop trying to replace programs for discipleship with programs, we'd be in a different spot. You'd be, as a minister, someone who's still getting your hands dirty, still in it for what you were in it for all those years